From one of the loudest venues in the National Football League, you get a look there at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here in Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
56, boys, 56. Check 56.
Now it's Jackson. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. So the completion gets him just a yard. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. He's got a man, complete. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. Play action. It's Jackson. Rolling to his left. He'll let this go for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Able to slither by. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On 2nd down now, it's Caldwell, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Back to throw. Turner. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fisher. And he will have a Broncos 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Well, these two teams had met up in Denver earlier this season with the Broncos winning that one. So if they can win again here in KC, they would pull off the season sweep. On first down, Turner. This pass caught by Hamler. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So first and 10 now from the 30. Off play action, Turner. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Back to throw again. Flush to his right. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Fisher. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for...
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. McManus's point after is good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Able to fight through one tackle. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Not the kind of game that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of game that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
8 yards to go on second down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They go play action now. Jackson. They're going deep for Hill. And this is caught. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. For all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Here's Harris to return it. And able to get this out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. And how easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it. And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Turner. Escaping the pressure right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Turner. He finds his man. Complete. It's Fisher. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of...
And he's got his tight end, Fant. Touchdown, Broncos. Noah Fant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He's going to air one out. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try the left side. Caldwell. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Turner to throw on 2nd down. He finds his man complete. That's Fisher. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And here's Turner. On 1st down, eluding the pressure right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping in.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fisher. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the gun, Turner. Quick slant to Hamler. Touchdown, Broncos. K.J. Hamler, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos on just 2 plays have taken the lead. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
Michael O.J. Mudia with the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. McManus now for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14.
Chiefs 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense got.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
Play action. Now Jackson. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Come on, fellas.
So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The final adjustments taking place here for both of these squads. They're about ready for the second half in Kansas City. And for the call, we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Turner now throwing on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Caldwell. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. He's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Flush to his right. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And going deep for Hill. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. They'll run on 1st down. It's Caldwell. 48 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
To throw is Turner. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now McManus for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27.
Makes the score Broncos 41, Chiefs 14. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. The ball is out. Edwards-Helaire lost it. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
Oh, into a sea of defenders have intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a big play there for the Broncos. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Going for it all. And he's got his tight end Fant. Touchdown Broncos. Noah Fant. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Broncos get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Chiefs 14.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. We are headed to the fourth here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They go play action with Jackson. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
The Chiefs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And going deep for Hill. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. Butker on for the PAT. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And finally stopped, but what a return all the way down to the 40.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Malik Harrison on the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
1st and 10. It's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 41. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he rifles one incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Here we go.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball.